Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Isaac, for joining us. Not a guest, member, special guest on the show. Included in Moses, I'm sorry, here we go. Included in Moses' blessing was the promise that the Jewish people would not be conquered by their enemies if they remained faithful to their covenant with God. So I think there's something that I still have a certain. Good morning, Avi. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I think there's something that I still have a slight inferiority with. Kind of like, I think a few days ago when we started, I mentioned it in passing. In regards to basically not like, what do you call it? Being like apologetic, or like I think Avi called it politically correct or whatever it is. But basically, one of the things would be kind of this one, or like I call the liberals. Anyways, like it says, the Jewish people would not be conquered by the enemies if they remain faithful to their covenant with God, which is a very straightforward statement. And I guess, you can read or you can speak. You can comment, whatever. If you're reading, just read further. For the entire world.
For the entire world's sake. Let's see. Moses told the Jewish people, your enemies will attack you from one direction. They will flee from you in 7 directions. Moses did not promise the Jewish people that they would kill their enemies, only that their enemies would be prevented from harming them. From this we see that when the Jewish people follow the Torah's instructions, it elicits divine presence, not only for us, but for the whole world. Even our enemies are allowed to live peacefully and securely in their own land, and we are prevented from harming us in any way.
No, there's 2 nations that we have to wipe out. So the ones that we do have to kill. But yeah. It's like the story with whatever. Instead of putting somebody else down, put yourself up. Think of whatever. So yeah, we don't need to kill everybody to be better. We just need to make sure like we're doing us, living our own lives for the best that we can. And as long as nobody else is bothering us, just let them go over there, whatever. Live their life. Take them a bath, whatever. Second-class citizens, whatever. Yeah, no equality, 100% not. Yeah, that's what I want to leave off with.
Avi, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to read this part again. Moses did not promise the Jewish people that they would kill their enemies, only that their enemies will be prevented from harming them. From this we see that when the Jewish people follow the Torah's instructions, it elicits divine blessing, not only for us, but for the whole world. Even our enemies are allowed to live peacefully and securely in their own land and are prevented from harming us in any way. Likutei Sichot, volume 29, page 307. Let's see. That's cool. We say even the enemies are allowed to live like peacefully, like in their space. Like other people, they don't say that, Okay.
Thank you. I'm using this timer because.
I can't really see it.
You could or you can't?
I cannot.
If you click on our icon, could you see it then?
What icon?
53, 43, 33.
Now I see it.
Now you do?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Shmuley, go ahead. You got a minute.
I'm confused. I'm reading the Chabad.org, the Daily Wisdom, not daily.
Yes, if you want. or you can just speak.
All right. Where would I continue from?
Javi actually just finished the last paragraph.
So I go all the way back to top. Included in Moses' blessings was the promise that the Jewish people would not be conquered by their enemies if they remained faithful to their covenant with God. For the entire world's sake, Moses tells the Jewish people, your enemies will attack you from one direction, but they will flee you from 7 directions. I feel it's the same like kind of this is talking about like this is not about Mitzrayim or anything like that, right? No connection to that. No.
Thanks, Shmulik.
Good morning, everyone. So it's funny. It's like weird like how they all went in 7 directions. So it's like not more, not less. A lot of things mean like the month is a week is a 7. What's a 7 Jewish thing? Is it like something very special? It's like number 7. So they ran. It's like we don't even need to fight. We just like all the Jews they run away from us. We just sit down there. Say, get away. They're all running 7 directions. They sleep in them. So,
Nice. It's actually a good question. The Rebbe in the last 2 years of the Sichos that he's told us focuses a lot on different numbers and how everything fits in perfectly. So generally I would be like, okay, who cares? That's not the point of it. But I think that you're right. There's got to be a reason why that there's a in 7 directions. That's a good point. If I have to like just throw something out there and see if it sticks, I would say basically the number 7 usually represents nature. 8 represents higher than nature. So I would kind of say this is the promise that Moshe Rabbeinu is giving, is that when you keep to the Torah mitzvahs, you will basically be protected by Hashem's covenant, which also means that you'll be above nature, which is also why we still exist. It makes no sense. It's not a natural thing that the Jews still exist. So maybe saying they're not true.
Where is it how the Jews are a natural thing?
What?
Where's the time about like the Jews are not natural? What's the Jews are saying? What even are the 7 directions? I don't know 4. Or maybe down. That's big on. That's not counting. That's like that. Why are you blessing their enemies with peaceful and secure?
I was actually going to ask the same thing about the 7 directions, but I thought maybe it just means like this, like this, like this, like this, whatever, like everywhere. They're just going to scramble. Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say. I should say, like, I believe in 7 directions. I don't know, man. And I was also going to say maybe it's 7 because referring to each nation is going to run into a different direction because the nations that the Jews are fighting against, there were 7 nations that the Jews are trying to wipe out. So maybe they each are going to run back to where they came from. I mean, like a direction could also be like, like you go this way and then turn and then fit. It's directions. It doesn't mean like it doesn't have to be direct direction. Actually, direction. Whatever. Listen, it works. I think. Also, I'm really tired.
Javi. It's your headed.
It's me. I heard a lot of things that I heard like God created the world with the number 7, and many things have to do with 7. Like I could think of a lot of things like tefillin, you wrap 7. There's 7 steps to a mikvah, 7 days of the week, and you could think of like a billion things with the number 7, which is kind of cool. And now I'm looking at um, the text, and it says your enemies will attack you from one direction. And does this apply now? Because I think enemies are attacking from more than one direction. And it says they're fleeing from like 7. Are they fleeing at all? I don't know. So I'm wondering if this is applicable now because they're attacking from more than one direction. One direction, yay.
Shmuley?
I passed him. Right now, busy.
Yeah, so the 7 directions is taken this morning, though. The 7 directions is whichever way you want them to be. Put 7 doors in the window, obviously, each one, and 7 people. And that's one out, probably everyone will go on one door. But Jacobson, ask your father. I don't know. Whatever. I think maybe you should get, let's say, his father quick. I'm better. So, yeah, I think it's important. The 7 is like a special number that Jewish thing, not Jewish, like but like when we what am I saying? It's like Shabbos, the 7th is special. It's a holy day, and a lot of other stuff. So you run in 7 directions.
Well, I think that what you guys were saying strengthens this question of why specifically 7, because there is no 7 directions, right? You can either do 4, you could do 6, right? There is. There's the 4 directions, up and down. That's the famous thing in Shema. In Shema, you say you put your head in right, left, forward, backwards, up and down. Like you're saying that Hashem is in all 6 directions. I'm just saying these things, or if you whatever. So I'm saying just 7 is something that does not fit into the amount of directions, I think. So how much more so that means that it's gonna mean something. On a simple plane, I think obviously it just means that they're gonna be scattered. They're gonna run away. As opposed to like coming in unified and orderly, and then they're just gonna run away. But I think 7 really does have to mean something.
7 is like a lot. Like I agree with it. 7 is a lot of different things. Even like in general, something a lucky 7. I'm saying it's not only a Jewish thing that 7 is a lucky number. Maybe later. I'm sure. 7 is very
Yeah, I know that 7 is recognized as a lucky number. I believe it comes from somewhere in Kabbalah. Somebody once told me that it says that the number 7 has luck. Most concepts with any luck or anything in the world generally come from concepts in Kabbalah, and people don't realize that. And look at anything that all the bad luck and all of this and all the things that people say, like, oh, what's it called when people are superstitious, all superstitions and everything, most of it comes from Kabbalah. People switched it up a little over the time here and there, but I remember learning some of them Mishnahs, even certain things. If you do certain things, you shouldn't do other things, and then bad luck or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to think about because half the world is basing everything off of us. So we're amazing. Does anybody want water, by the way? There you go, water.
Avi,
I'll take some water. So I was thinking that maybe besides the 4 directions which enemies can attack you, maybe they could also attack you emotionally, spiritually, and through like those directions they could attack you also. They could attack your spiritualness. So maybe there's like other directions which they could attack you and make you not religious and stuff. So could be. I don't know. Is there like an explanation? Does like Rashi or something just like answer it? Like, is there an answer or are we just guessing? I like to know.
Shmuley?
Pass.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not typo. So I think there's more than 7. There's 4 directions. There's northeast, southeast, southwest. So you could technically make millions of directions, but I think 7. We keep it at 7. It's a lucky number. That's what we should be calling. I want to shut up also. Yeah, so like he says, everything is done by God. Everything is basically planned out. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bang.
So actually, Avi reminded me that the 7 emotions, right? We have Chesed, Gvur, Tiferet, that's a Chayv Yisrael and Malchus. It's sort of the 7 emotions of a person. But careful.
Yes, Jordan.
Awesome. I actually wanted to get to that because obviously we're not learning this to just, hear something. Everything's got to be a lesson. Everything's got to have a takeaway. Yeah? Yeah, what can we do? Everything's got to have a lesson and have a takeaway. Yeah. Go give Linda a hug. So I definitely think that there's got to be a takeaway from here, and we got to let's figure it out. Let's figure it out together. Yeah.
Good morning, yes. Good morning, yes. Here.
Say whatever you feel like saying.
And something going on.
You also want to pass, by the way. I'm just saying, so there's not too much pressure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, there's 7, it's emotions, the things that it's the thing that makes the world equal, everything is equal down and balanced and whatever, everything. Good morning, Jessica. I'm still waiting to hear from you, by the way. I want to hear your big idea. It's out, I'm sure it's amazing. You gotta tell me at some point, but right now, what's this week's portion? Friday, Elul, yeah. Avi.
Avi, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, Rabieska. Nice to see you.
Shmuley?
I'm gonna pass.
Rabieska, go ahead.
Shalom Aleichem. What is the friend of the name? My name is Yoske Levin.
That's not what your name is. Yeah.
What is my Mayor Jacobson?
Mayor what?
Jacobson.
Mayor Jacobson.
Mayor Jacobson. From Crown Heights?
Muncie. From Muncie.
Yoske Levin. Pleasure. So I'm 20 minutes I'm playing with the computer. For Isaac, it's not.
It's hard to hear you. It's hard to hear you, Rabieska.
So for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes I'm trying to work with. You hear me now? Can you hear me? Wow, I don't hear me good. Maybe I should put the earphone better. 1 second. 1 second. You don't hear me now?
We hear you. Now we hear you.
I hear me. Okay. I'm gonna skip. I don't have a choice. Oh, Yuda. Hello. So, Sholem Bergovich, I'm taking very seriously the way you asked me the question because I'm more focused to accomplish when I want to present something. I want to do what I plan, or I'm doing something that I care, that I plan to do. Hello, oh, good to see you.
Ooh, mute.
Okay. So you're in Jets now? Oh, very interesting. Yuda, you're in Jets? Okay, so you don't know where is everybody. You have Chicago, we have everybody. So Shmuley is not in Jets? In Jets. Oh, I don't know who is in Jets is not. Okay. So I just took me 20 minutes till I got to the. Okay.
Thank you, Rabieska. We're gonna go on.
Yeah, so what are you good?
How are you today? Good morning, Yehuda Bogo. Good morning, Yochanan. So,
Okay.
I speak some.
So we're discussing how Moshe Rabbeinu gave a bracha to the Yidden that your enemies will attack you from one direction but will flee from you in 7 directions. So I'm thinking of how to make it applicable and real. And the continuation to that is that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't promise that we're going to kill the enemies, but that they're going to be prevented from harming them. And Shner, I think, asked, what is the blessing about that? Like, oh, your enemies will live in peace in their own places. So what is that about? So I think that basically as soon as we start paying attention to that it's a personal thing, we're talking about My enemy generally represents the Yetzer Hara, someone that's overtaking me, like an evil inclination that I can't control my own decisions, and I lean towards negative ones.
The enemy means the Yetzer Hara. Why don't we want to kill the enemy? Why can't we just kill the enemy? I think that Tzaddik, like talking about Tanya, first parak, Tzaddik, FiveAlive is someone that killed their enemy, and FiveAlive is someone that just silenced their enemy, their Yetzer Hara. So why is, what Shalom said earlier about how we don't need our enemies down to lift ourselves up, but if our enemies, then we should put them down.
Okay, Shalom.
So I believe if you're using the example with Tanya and the Yetzer Hara, in Tanya, when it talks about somebody that kills the Yetzer Hara, it doesn't mean that they killed their Yetzer Hara. It means that they worked their Yetzer Hara to the level where now it also became good. So rather than killing it, it's like having two Yetzer Tevs, or double the power of the Yetzer Tev. Like you could see with Baal Jews, somebody that wasn't religious, somebody that wasn't Jewish, and become Jewish, they usually end up being much greater, much holier, much more focused because it came from them or whatever. So if you're able to make your Yetzer Hara go to the level where it becomes good, it's probably even greater than your original Yetzer Tev. And same thing with war. If a bunch of whatever, if a country is going to war with another country, rather than killing everybody, they try usually to take people to use it to their advantage, right? Either to make them their slaves or whatever, or to keep them as captives, but they could use it to their advantage without completely destroying them. So,
Avi.
Yes. Well, it says that they'll be attacked from one direction. They will flee from 7. I can't say that I understand what that means. I guess we could say maybe it's a Yetzer Hara, maybe it's not. I don't know. I can guess. I don't know. Is there like an actual explanation? I mean, not actual. All these are actual. Everything we come up with. But is there like I don't know, like a Rambam or something? I don't know.
Yuda, if you're able to, it's your turn, but keep your eyes on the road.
Well, am I talking or am I officially reading something?
Talking, go ahead.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's been a long time since I've been on this FiveAlive. Yes, Yaska, I'm back in Jets for Smicha. I'm in Jets for Smicha, and then I go to work as a mashgiach in a place that I really dislike right now. But everything's good. Seems like who's there at FiveAlive? We got Coops, Berkowitz. I don't know who that is. I can't see really. Yeah, it's really nice to be back. For the reading part, just skip me, so at least I can hear the learning. And yeah.
Thank you.
Really,
Rabbi Yaska.
I'm holding for the entire world's sake. Yeah, this is you're reading now. Yeah, beautiful. I got the book, guys. Daily Wisdom. So I found it. So I'm going to be involved. I'm trying to read before to have a little bit. Moses told the Jewish people, "Your enemies will attack you, but they will flee from you in even direction." So I tell you, relates to me something today. Something I was excited You know, sometimes you do something, you think you're in the right way, then suddenly you want to have hesitation. You are right. You're doing the right things. Bothers you so much. So when you see somebody does something completely the wrong things, wow, then you realize, oh, I'm in the right place. So I see some people do good stuff.
Thank you, Yasin. Thank you, Yasin. Yeah, so I think that God is always with us. He won't get killed. He's not always, even what people try to survive in, we're still going strong. Not right now, look what we do today. Like right now, I need 5 million people to watch it if they really want it. Like anyone could join, like just find out about you like right now. Maybe one day you'll have enough subscribers there and make some money on there. But yeah, so I think we could make this world a better place and make sure that we chase enemies out from 7 directions.
Yeah, sure, Kyle. I want to hear the rest of what you're saying, Rabbi Yasmin. Actually intrigued. And good to see you on here, Yuda. I do want to mention a question you asked in the beginning. I just remembered what you said.
Remember.
Oh, where does it say about the Jews being higher than nature? So here, it doesn't actually say it explicitly, but it does say it in the beginning of here, where by remaining faithful to Hashem's covenant, we will not be conquered by the enemy. And one of these anti-Semites, I forgot his name, Mark Twain, maybe? One of these like famous philosophers or whatever it is. I don't know who. But basically, one of these guys basically said everything is mortal except for the Jew. Because basically everybody tries to kill us, and we're this tiny nation from throughout all time, and superpowers have come and gone, and somehow we're still around, and it makes no sense.
Sure. Okay. All right. First of all, I'll show you my recently discovered new secrets how I know my purpose in the world. Okay. First of all. Also, yeah, there's like, we can't talk about it enough. I mean, it comes up in conversations so often, but like it's really 100% obvious that there has to be like that the Jews aren't on their own, because it wouldn't make sense. Like they're such a minority, and like no matter what happened, every single person. First of all, the amount of like the percentage-wise, celebrities. The richest people, everything, there's always Jews up there. All like the most famous actors and actresses and singers, even so not as many singers, but even a few singers, and just millionaires and billionaires and everybody out there. Almost every person like that lives in a civilized place knows what Jews are.
There's this YouTube video that was good. What was it called? Bum bum bum. Oh, maybe this. Against. Oh. No, that's not it. Oh. Oh. There's this YouTube video called Israel Defying the Odds. And it's pretty cool. I recommend watching it.
Yuda, without taking your eyes off the road.
So, I don't even know what we're talking about, but if we're talking about nature, right? So, human nature is that you're supposed to have 8 hours of sleep every day, and for teenagers, which I don't know why, but recently I've actually, when I was young, I've always rebelled, I guess, if you say that, against that, because I need 8 hours, like I'm not a little baby. Either ways, for the past, since I started this job, I've had 5.5 hours, 6 hours of sleep, and then driving and in the mornings and late at night. Point is that I guess the Rambam, who a lot of people thought that he was just some sort of rabbi, so they wouldn't think that he's a doctor.
Time's up. Thank you. That's that. I have to get video. Okay, Jessica, go ahead.
Okay. I like the Yuda said, oh, we're speaking about nature. Okay, it's good. So I like the Salil. I hope you're gonna hear better to hear guys better. And I read about the enemies and life over here. Wow. It's funny. Sometimes you don't see what you accomplished. You just do something. And like now I'm sitting with you guys and I don't know if each one knows what we're doing now. You don't see it clear. So for me, I tell you straight, this is the most important thing in my life, in the world, I think, for the whole world.
Thank you, Yaska.
So I think if we're talking about nature now, nature is yet to have 8 hours sleep. I can't remember, most people during the summer, I can't really remember a day that I had 8 hours of sleep, aside for Shabbos. Like, it's messed up that these days kids, teens, adults even don't get the proper amount of sleep. They just they stay out, but it's really like, even in school, sometimes don't give enough time to have time for yourself. Not just does, but dark. You had enough time to make it in a way you didn't have any time for yourself. But sleeping is important. So you got your 8 hours of sleep. So sleep as much as you want. So I think Judge should get 10 hours of sleep.
So still got a bunch of stuff to say, contrary to what Schneider thinks that there's nothing else to say. But I like this idea of making sure you have a takeaway, and my takeaway from this one is to at least approach one non-Jewish person and maybe discuss a little bit the idea of Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Nach. One of the concepts of Mashiach is that the Gram will be doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is keeping the Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Nach and supporting the Yidden. And it's so interesting because there's a video been going around, I don't know if you guys seen it yet, of a bunch of Japanese sitting around singing all these Jewish songs, and whatever, all these different songs. And basically, it's very interesting. At the end, their religion and their mission is not to become Jews, but just to support the Jews.
Yeah, I've met quite a few times like Christians who they asked me about mitzvahs and different things, and they told me it's their job to protect me.
Sure, it's your last chance. Speak today.
Say whatever you want.
With Christians, it's very different. They're very tricky. They can tell you that they're going to protect you, and they'll have all another trick up their sleeve. But yeah, it is really interesting with saying no, they're all missionaries. Listen, you know how many people in Dublin used to go to the park in Darthay? Come over to me, try convincing me everything. Where there's no moon, it's not the moon. You don't know what they're saying. These kids are retarded things. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever you say. Basically, yeah, but about the Japanese, that is pretty interesting. No, but a lot of them believe that they come from certain tribes and they're very, or they're very, like, it's interesting, but it's pretty cool. I mean, they're probably tripping, but the toxic air in like, Japan. Oh, that'd be interesting. They're tripping off the toxic wastes of where they live. Imagine we could hotbox like an entire city.
Avi, closing remarks?
Yes. I appreciate everyone's words. Thank you. Also, I just wanted to say real quick, based off what Yehuda was saying, about sleep. I was just wondering, like, when is it okay to like lose sleep, to go to bed really late? Like, what's worth it? Like hanging out with friends, could you like get 3 hours of sleep because you have to hang out with some people? Is that okay? Sometimes I'm like, no, I have to go to sleep so I can have a better day tomorrow. But maybe this is important. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe people need this. So sometimes I don't know. And you said, Sherry, you met someone who wants to protect you. Tell me who these people are. I want to meet them.
Thank you, Avi. Okay, we are going to call it a day.
Yoda,
We want Mashiach now.
Yoda, are you coming to Jets now?